Listen, you got the power. Pull the trigger. What you waiting on? Pass, go, and collect. Yo, 200. So look, I know you ready to quit. Like I know you tired. Like I know you ready to give up. But here's the deal, man. Like there's so many more reasons why you need to keep your job. So check this out. So I'm a supervisor right now at my job, and right now I have the ability to, well, what I do affects other people's lives. Now here's the deal. You might not be a supervisor, but just follow along with me. So I'm a supervisor, and right now we really short staffed. I love it. We're short staffed, right? Like life is lifing right now for me. Well, my bad. Life is lifing for my job, just like every other job. So, mind you, I work for a job, and this guy that I'm getting ready to talk about works for a job too. We work for the same job essentially. But I have the ability to make a decision, and it will ultimately affect different people's lives. Like I got about 20 people under me right now, which is crazy because got held back in the second grade, low self-esteem. Like my parents got divorced when I was 6. Like who am I to manage anybody? But I'm realizing something because for a while I hated my job too. You feel what I'm saying? And low key, I still hate my job, but there's so many reasons and benefits that you gotta stay in the game. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, here's another thing. There's a part of me that hate life. It is what it is. Like I don't necessarily like waking up every single morning. Yeah, I got another chance at life, but life sucks sometimes. But I said that to say, I just want you to understand where I'm going with this. So a guy reached out to me and he asked me, he like, hey man, did they start putting in for the vacations yet? Because I got an anniversary that's getting ready to come up. And at my job, I work at a transportation company, and things sometimes get missed to where it's ruined. It just ruins your whole weekend. It ruins whatever plans that you had. So you got to really go and comb these things and make sure that the boxes are checked off. So my man like, yo, Mike, I got an anniversary that's coming up in February, and the way that we have to select vacations at my job, we have to go in order of seniority. And this guy that I'm talking about, Fred, for the sake of the video, Fred had an anniversary in February. He like, yo, Mike, can you check in on this for me? And I was like real diligent, right? I had to like take this serious as if it was my anniversary. So I'm like, I did everything that I needed to do, checked off all my boxes, kept revisiting the situation, kept talking to my manager. I'm like, hey man, is my man good? And when I delivered that information to my man, I'm like, yo, you good, Fred? Yo, Mike, man, I appreciate you so much. Like, you really just blessed me. I don't have to worry about that number. Like he getting ready to go on a trip for his anniversary. I remember being there because I remember there was a time where I was low seniority. There was a time when I had to address my supervisor and make sure that I was good for those days. Now it's my turn to pay it forward. Like what are you doing? Is it just about you? Like, is it just about you? You ready to quit the job because your boss ain't doing what it is that you can do? Whose life can you affect? I'm talking about you got Linda down the street or down the hall from you at your job that's getting ready to lose everything, but she come to work every day and see your face and you smiling. You got something in you that she need and you ready to quit the job because of what you ain't getting. Do you understand how that made me feel? The fact that my man was just like, yo, Mike, you made my life easier. And in turn, he makes my life easier because what he does, the way he perform at work, it affects me. It affects my team because I have a team that I have to report out on. Oh, Mike, why is this person on your team not reporting? We have data, we have dashboards that pull the information that shows why Fred isn't performing. But Fred is a high performer, might I add. Before he even asked me to do what he do, and him being a high performer had nothing to do with me doing what I needed to do for him. But I had somebody, matter of fact, shout out to Matt Staley. This was my old supervisor. My man used to show me love. I'm talking about anything that I needed. He was either going to help me out or try to come up with a solution. And watch this. Do you know that everything right now that I'm learning at my job translates and transfers out into the real world, out into business? Do you know that with my own business, like once I grow my business to a certain level, there's going to be employees that I have to address and that I have to handle. Oh man, let me go and look through the books. I used to do that at my job. It ain't nothing to help you figure out your vacation. You work for me, you helping my business out. I already did it for my job, and now I can do it for myself. So the number one reason right now that I'm telling you to keep your job is you could be helping someone else's life. Somebody else shared with me. I ain't gonna tell y'all this story, but somebody else shared with me like, hey, yo, man, I would have been quit this job if you wouldn't have been here. Like, find somebody else to do it for. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just about you and how you feel and your little feelings. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle nobody's feelings, but what I'm saying is, when you focus on someone else, like how I focused on Fred. When I focused on Fred and helped him out, he's like, yo, Mike, man, you made my life so much better. I don't know I don't know what that's going to do for me and what that's going to do for me in the future. Like the karma that's going to come for that. Like, I don't know. It's not going to come back in the same form. It's not going to come back in the same form, but I don't know how that's going to benefit my life. All because I stayed at a job. I stayed at a job to make somebody else's life easier. Because right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, man, I got a pretty good life right now. Everything ain't going right in my life, but I got a pretty good life. Who life is everything going right in? Like, whose life? Tell me. Oh man, my man, like everything going right in his life. Is it really? Like, is it really going right? So, everything right now is not going right in my life, but it is. I got somebody that's thanking me, another grown man. You know how that made me feel? Like I have the ability to affect how someone else feel or how their life go. Another grown man that's 20 years he got about 15 years over me. I'm 30. He got about 15 years over me or in that range, 10 to 15 years over me. And I had the ability to affect his life. Like, do you know what that do for me? I get to check that off my box and go, you know what? I had the opportunity to help somebody else's life be affected and have a great benefit from a decision that I made. Like that's the reason why you need to stay at your job is to help somebody else. Somebody helped you, so pay it forward. Pay it forward. And that's the reason why you need to stay at your job. So with that being said, you already know what you can do. Pass go and collect your 200. Peace.